Foreplay, episode 15. It is Wells Fargo Championship Week. Riggs, I'm joined by my friend Trent.
Hello.
Hello, Trent.
Hello.
We're going to get into our weekends. We have a massive episode, Foreplay, presented by Barstool Sports. Shout out to Barstool Sports.
Oh, I love Barstool Sports. Big fan.
Huge fan of Barstool Sports. Thank you for presenting us. Feels good. We have maybe the most jam-packed episode we've ever had.
Mm-hmm.
We have as guests Hall of Fame third baseman George Brett.
What a beauty.
What a beauty. Huge golfer. Huge golfer.
Yeah, we weren't sure. They were like, George Brett's coming in. Do you guys want to interview him? We're like, I guess we will. And I'm like, why would we do that? Huge golf guy.
He's won the Pebble Beach Pro-Am playing with Freddie Couples before. He tells all kinds of good stories. He was in the office, so we got that coming up. We also checked in with our boy, Willy Wilcox.
Yep.
Who finished T14 this weekend at the Zurich Classic with partner Freddie Jacobson.
Yep, Mr. You Got to Be Fist Fucking Me. He was the start of that whole thing.
He was the start of that whole thing.
Set off a revolution.
Huge revolution. Many people now say that on the golf course. We're going to check in. We're going to go through the PGA. We got LPGA drama from yesterday. We got from the gallery, some pretty funny stories. Big episode. We're going to kick it off by talking a little bit about our weekends.
Yeah.
Trent, you were in Philadelphia.
I was in Philadelphia.
Had you ever been to Philly before?
It was my first time in Philly, checking out the sites. I didn't actually see all the sites. I did the thing where when you go to a city and you're like, oh, there's a lot of history here. I'm going to check out all the things. Was in a bar for 72 straight hours. Didn't really see anything. I stopped by the draft. That was cooler than I thought it was going to be.
I didn't even think about the draft.
We stopped by there. I thought it was going to be just in an auditorium, but instead it's a whole festival where they have zip lines and they have monuments. You can take pictures and all this stuff. It's outdoors, which was okay. It was really hot the day we went there, so it wasn't that great. But, yeah, Philly was cool. I was inside a bar for most of it, so I give Philly like a 9 out of 10.
Because they have bars.
Because they have bars.
Yeah. I mean, that's a very, very good point where everyone's like, oh, you went to Baltimore or whatever. How was it? I was like, well, I went into a bar.
Yeah.
And when it was dark out, and I was there until like 2 in the morning, and then I got really drunk and went home, went to sleep, and woke up and went home.
Like when my parents, they've never been out to the East Coast, but they're going to come visit me at some point. They want to do the D.C., Philly, New York, the whole thing. They're in their 60s and almost 70s now. They're going to go sightseeing because they want to fill their day. They've done the drinking thing. I'm still in my late 20s. I'm going to go out and get boozed up at any town that I'm in.
That's actually a really good point because I honestly feel like when people ask me if they're visiting New York, what should they do, all that, I've never visited New York City. I don't know anything about it.
Yeah. I
go to work, which is where my office is. I know where the office is. I leave work and go to a bar and just drink all night, and then I go home. I don't go out. I don't see New York.
Yeah, so I'm actually the opposite. I visited New York once, but it was before I lived here. I came here with Hank 3 years ago. I made videos and stuff, did all the touristy stuff on purpose. But if you just come here and live here before visiting, you just go to bars.
So I've never been to New York. I've just been to the establishments that I also am at in normal cities.
You live in New York. You've never been to New York.
So my weekend was a little different.
Bayonne.
4 of us went out. We played Bayonne on Saturday. Francis, our good coworker Francis Ellis, got us out there. His uncle's a member, nicest guy in the world, said, boys, I want you to go out and play Bayonne. Shout out to him. Gigantic thank you. Frankie Borelli joined us and Captain Cons from Zero Blog 30 fame. That was our foursome. We had heard a lot about this place. For those that don't know, Bayonne Golf Club is on the water over by the Jersey loading docks in New Jersey. On the water, like I said, there's like a ferry that takes you out there. The place... It's magical. It's a links course. Built.
If you were following the Foreplay on Instagram, you would know this because there were lots of videos up there.
Go follow us at Foreplay Pod. We couldn't stop putting stuff up there. So very, it's a very nice, very exclusive club that has a great reputation. It's badass. Dan Hicks is like narrating all of their helicopter tours on their website and everything. So it's like legit.
Yeah.
So we're super pumped. We had like a 1:15 p.m. tee time. So we're like, let's get there early. Let's get there at like 10:30 or 11. Let's soak up the whole property. We'll get lunch. We'll do the locker room. We'll do all that. So we get there. Trent, I've never been to a place in my life. Every fucking person that works there is a stoolie.
No way.
Everybody.
Get out of here.
Everybody in the pro shop. I'm like, introducing myself. I'm like, hi, I'm Sam. They're like, oh, Riggs, I know who you are.
That's got to make you feel pretty good.
Like, all right. Like, literally everybody. So then it's a caddy-only situation. You got to take caddies when you play. Our caddies, huge stoolies. They like requested us. They're like telling us about the tee sheet. We had thought we were like coming in real, covert. As, Francis's guys or whatever. No, they were like, no, as soon as we saw your guys' names on the sheet, we just wrote Barstool.
What a perk of this podcast.
It was crazy. People were like coming out of the fucking woodworks being like, oh, Rex. So we get there early. We start taking a bazillion Instagrams because the place is beautiful. We get to go up in this lighthouse that's like way, way up high. You got to go through this dangerous-ass staircase. I'm a very clumsy walker to begin with.
Yeah.
So it's like if you trip and fall, you're toast. Go up there. We're already a couple cocktails in.
I was going to say, you guys gassing beers this whole
Crushing
time?
them.
Yeah.
We couldn't help it. We were like, so we go out, we check out the lighthouse. We get a really nice lunch. We go down to the range. The range is like a small little strip of land that could basically only fit width-wise people hitting golf balls on the water. So you're just hitting balls out into the Hudson. Apparently they float.
What?
So you just hit balls into the Hudson River. They just float out there. It's crazy. It was nuts. So we're soaking up the range experience. We obviously, we get out. We play 18 holes. We have a great match. Ended up being all square at the end. We got probably a little too drunk on the course. Our caddies were drinking with us.
Is that allowed? Are you putting them on blast?
They probably got a little too drunk, to be honest with you, too. It sounds like it's allowed because we were, certain golf clubs are very stuffy. That's like the MO in golf.
Right.
It's kind of why we started this podcast, to be, anti that.
Yeah.
This club's cool as shit. They're talking about their members. Their members love to have drinks, crank drinks while they're out there playing on Saturday, Sunday afternoon. It was a great experience. So shout out to Bayonne. The course is top notch. It's tough, but very fair. Incredibly fun course to play. A lot of fescue, a lot of rolling hills. Like I said, it's very linksy.
Right.
So the ground's firm, fast. The views are incredible. You can see the Statue of Liberty. You can see Freedom Tower. You got giant ships in the background.
See, you visited New York. That's a New York thing right there.
That was the most visiting New York thing I've ever done.
One thing I did not know when I was watching the snaps and the Instagrams, I didn't know our guy Frankie Borelli, previous guest on this podcast, was a lefty. Lefty. Stunning
Moment on the range. When Frankie pulled out a club and started swinging, we were like, what?
Crazy.
Yeah, you think you could tell a guy that's lefty, but we couldn't.
Yeah, is he left-handed?
I don't know. We didn't really get into it.
I don't really know, but you just assume everybody's a righty.
I just looked at him bewildered.
I felt a little betrayed. We went on a golf trip the whole time. And then he didn't mention it once.
It was weird. It was a weird moment.
You think he would say like, "Oh, I'm rooting for Phil Mickelson because we're one and the same."
Right. You would think so.
Drop a little hint like that, but no.
Anyway, we had some great meals. We had a little snacks and dinner afterwards.
Speaking of snacks and dinners and meals, Riggsy,
tell me.
Let me tell you about our friends at Blue Apron.
Love Blue Apron.
Blue Apron is the #1 fresh ingredient and recipe delivery service in the country. Blue Apron's mission is to make incredible home cooking accessible to everyone. Blue Apron achieves this by supporting a more sustainable food system, setting the highest standards for ingredients, and building a community of home chefs. Blue Apron has established partnerships with over 150 local farms, fisheries, and ranchers across the United States. As a result, seafood is sourced sustainably under standards developed in partnership with the Monterey Bay Aquarium Seafood Watch. Beef, chicken, and pork come from responsibly raised animals. Produce is sourced from farms that practice regenerative farming. Blue Apron can be delivered to 99% of the continental U.S. and 99.5% of food desserts. Because of Blue Apron ships exactly the same amount of ingredients required for each recipe, they are reducing waste. Cooking together builds strong family bonds. Research shows that Blue Apron families cook nearly 3 times more often. Those who spend a lot at restaurants or high-end grocery chains now spend under $10 per person for a delicious meal. Some of their upcoming meals are beef teriyaki stir-fry with sugar, snap peas, and lime rice. That sounds pretty good.
Sounds lovely.
Sounds great. Baked spinach and egg flatbread with sautéed asparagus and lemon aioli. That sounds actually really good. Not all ingredients are created equal. Fresh, high-quality ingredients make a real difference, so it's important to know where your food comes from. I recently, I don't know if I told you this yet, I started eating better. I started trying to go, stop eating, take out the junk food and the fast food. So Blue Apron helped me out with that. Their meals are delicious, and they're healthy, and they're quick, and even I can do them. I'm not a cook, but I can still make these. So for less than $10 per person per meal, Blue Apron delivers seasonal recipes along with pre-portioned ingredients to make delicious home-cooked meals. Choose from a variety of new recipes each week, or let Blue Apron's culinary team surprise you. Recipes are not repeated within a year, so you'll never get bored. Check out this week's menu and get your first 3 meals free with free shipping by going to blueapron.com/foreplay. That's FOREPLAY, all one word. You will love how good it feels and tastes to create incredible home-cooked meals with Blue Apron, so don't wait. That's blueapron.com/foreplay. Blue Apron, a better way to cook.
So we were down at the Zurich Classic on Tuesday.
Yeah.
It was a quick day trip.
Yeah, flew into New Orleans in the morning, then flew out the next day. But it was an action-packed day for us.
Action-packed day. Our good friends from Chef's Cut, Real Jerky.
Mm-hmm.
Look, I've heard a lot of different pitches in my life. They kept saying tender, it's delicious, it's great. This shit is fantastic.
This isn't an ad.
This isn't an ad read. They already paid for their stuff. They already got their stuff. We put out videos, we put out Instagrams, we put out tweets. I put the shit in my bag at Bayonne for the Saturday round. Mm-hmm. It's just delicious. It stays delicious. It's really good. So
that's the big thing. It stays delicious. You can have it through the whole round. Doesn't go bad, anything like that.
It's unreal. So Chef's Cut, they fly us down. Shooting a little video with our boys, Andrew Beef Johnston, Kyle Reifers, their teammates. They had a good weekend, by the way.
Yep.
They finished, I believe, T29. I'm looking at my notes right here. T29, 14 under. Mm-hmm. So we get there. This whole thing, like I said, we've been working with Chef's Cut. Hey, you guys are going to go on the range. You're going to shoot a video with these guys. You're going to promote Chef's Cut. You're going to do a team bonding thing. We get there. We basically, I've really never seen anything like it, security-wise, which there was none.
None. There was no security.
Zero security.
Should we say that we had applied for media credentials, and we were granted media credentials, but not credentials where we could film on site?
Correct. We got media credentials. We were not allowed to film on site.
Nope.
But we showed up with a camera crew and an audio crew and everything, fully planning to film on site.
Yeah, clearly rolled up like, hey, this is our sound guy, this is our film guy. We walked right by security. They didn't even think to ask us for anything. So one thing, we're standing in the parking lot like normal pedestrians, and then boom, you cross the line, and we're near the range, near the putting, all that stuff within 2 seconds.
Yep, we just put our phones up to our ears like we were really busy.
Yeah.
And we just waved at people as we walked by them like, oh yeah, thanks a lot for having us. Thanks for the check-in.
Yeah.
And we walked right by them.
Lesson for any of you kids out there, if you act like you're supposed to be somewhere, people are going to assume you're supposed to be there.
2 seconds later, we're standing on the range. Spieth's right next to us with his boy Palmer, who's our guy. Beef, Reifers, everybody's hanging.
We could have interviewed Justin Rose. We saw him in the parking lot past security. They were just like, we were just normal guys.
Basically bullied Justin Rose off the sidewalk, walking into this thing with a cameraman and an audio woman with us.
Yep.
They were dressed head to toe in all black, by the way. So we did not blend in.
They could not have looked more like a crew of video people and sound people
that are supposed to not be there.
Mm-hmm.
So anyways, we filmed the video. Very funny video. Well, you can't check it out anymore.
We're going to get into that.
Couldn't have been happier. Couldn't have been happier with how the video turns out.
Chef's Cup people love it. Everybody loves it.
Everybody loves it. Beef's laughing. He's having a good time. Reifers is laughing. They're all pumped up. Thanks for coming down, boys.
We did have a good time with those two.
Awesome time. Those guys are... Beef is as cool as he's, hyped up to be. Even cooler dude in real life.
There is the fear with a guy like that where you're like, he can't be that cool all the time. A guy who's happy to see everybody.
Like the golf media overdoes it.
Yeah. And then you meet him and he's immediately smiling and cracking jokes.
Jolly British dude.
Yep. So him and I talked about Nas and the Roots. He's a big hip hop guy.
I couldn't have been more lost during this conversation.
You were.
But I did enjoy the fact that my friend Trent and Beef were bonding over something.
It was nice.
So we're doing all this. We're having a good time. We filmed the video. Come back the next day. And then 2 days later.
2 days later.
The video goes up 2 days later. So on Thursday it goes up.
Mm-hmm.
And then Friday.
Yep.
The sales team gets a call from the PGA Tour. PGA Tour's livid.
They are not happy.
PGA Tour says there is an appalling and unacceptable amount of F-bombs. You did not have permission. You have to take these videos down immediately.
You have to take it down. They were like, there's too many swear words in this video. You guys didn't have permission to be there. Take it down.
Furious with us. Threatening. Very threatening manner.
Yep.
So we take the videos down. Now, look.
Were they right? No. Yes. We didn't have permission to go in there. That's true. So they're right on that part, I guess.
But the video only promotes their event. That's all it does. We're at the Zurich Classic with two guys that are playing in the Zurich Classic with guys that cover golf and are therefore covering the Zurich Classic. It was a very fun video. We didn't hurt anybody. We didn't attack anybody.
No, I would say it's the very opposite. Everyone had a good time. It was a good promotion for all the brands. If the PGA Tour, we didn't have to go public with this. We didn't want to, but you guys are being dicks about it.
Stop being dicks. Just let us do what we want to do. It's good content. I didn't even say in the video that Ian Poulter's an asshole.
Nope.
I didn't say that I hate Billy Horschel because he's a dickhead. I didn't say any of those
Bubba
things.
Watson stinks.
Didn't say any of that. We were very friendly, very positive. Bob, looks like you want to say something.
For the people that didn't see the video, why don't you describe it quickly?
So we went in like we were team-building consultants.
Mm-hmm.
Team bonding consultants, whatever you want to say, because it's a team event. It's never been a team event in 36 years. So we're going to teach these guys how to become a team. We ate beef jerky out of each other's mouths.
We did trust falls. We did blind chips.
Yep.
Like you said, we ate beef jerky out of our mouth, which was a great bonding. Just a good friendship thing, really.
Yep.
Doesn't have to do anything about team. So we did all those things. We ran through a bunch of that stuff with those guys.
So basically the video promoted friendship, team bonding, becoming closer with your friends, eating beef jerky, chef's cut.
Good salted meats, chef's cut.
The Zurich Classic, which is the PGA Tour's event.
Yeah.
And just golf and having fun in general. Those are the things the video promoted. PGA Tour said, nope. You idiots. This is what people don't like about golf.
Yeah.
It was such a positive thing for everybody involved. It's crazy.
Yeah, and for them to think that it's a good idea to shoot down the one group of people who's like, we want to bring more young people to this group, to this area, to this sport, and them shooting us down is a shitty look.
So that sucked. That was annoying that they made us take it down. Bad boys at golf. We got to get a Harley now.
Yeah.
We're going to get a Harley golf cart if they make those.
They're
Paint it
going
all
to.
black. Leather jackets.
Hey, you know what I say? Maybe make your fucking security a little better, PGA Tour.
Your guys' security stinks.
We're helping you to show you the weak spots in your security. Because literally anybody could walk into a PGA Tour event and just like hang out, because that's what we did.
We did. We flew into town, walked in as conspicuously as you can walk in. We had camera guys. We had cameras falling off our fucking pockets.
Yeah.
And they just let us right in.
Yeah. And nobody ever asked us a question. Once we're inside, maybe you think, all right, you get past the one line of security, but once you're in, they're going to be checking credentials. Nope. Nobody checked anything.
Anyways, chef's cut. Great effort. We had a good time. Our video already did a ton of impressions. That's what they call them, Trent. Impressions.
No, it didn't hurt us at all. It only hurts the PGA Tour. Our video was up. It got the impressions. Chef's Cut's happy. We're all happy. It's the PGA Tour that's just dumb.
So, Zurich Classic, we're going to get into how it all shook down. But first, to kind of give us a little bridge way into how it was, how it went, what it was like to be playing in the first team event in 36 years, we brought in our boy Willy Wilcox. First time we talked to him since probably our second or third episode.
Yeah, I think that's right.
Willy Wilcox had a really strong top 15 finish, played with Freddie Jacobson. Here's Willy Wilcox. All right, real quick now, we're joined by our boy Willy Wilcox, who just telling us a little bit about returning from New Orleans. You're back in Alabama, is that right?
Yep, just got out of the 5-hour car ride.
Gotta love those. That's the PGA Tour life, man.
Yeah. I mean, normally it's very rare that I actually ride anywhere, maybe just like that tournament all year long. Well, I guess Memphis you drive too, but mostly it's pretty long journeys. But since the girlfriend and a lot of folks were down, I had a ride back home.
How are you filling that time, that 5.5 hours?
We listened to a podcast. Listened to that one. It's called S-Town.
Ooh.
Oh, I've heard that's like the new serial, right?
Yeah, it was really good.
Okay.
Also, people, you can listen to Foreplay if you go subscribe, download.
Yeah. Yeah, I get enough golf on the week every day. So I try not to listen to too much golf chat.
I always am stunned when we talk to Smiley and he's like, "Yeah, me and my boys listen to it all the time on the way home." I'm like, "I don't think you do. There's no way you get that much golf."
Yeah. It's I appreciate the gesture, but you're lying. At this
right.
point.
That's kind of how I feel. But anyway, so we had to bring you on real quick. Like I said, it's we're coming off the Zurich Classic, first team event on tour, 36 years. You and Freddie had a nice T14 finish, pretty good week. What's kind of the approach going into a team event that you've really never played anything like it before?
I mean, there wasn't really much of an approach. It was just you pick who does the even holes, who does the odd holes on the alternate shot. Alternate shot was obviously much more difficult. And if you haven't played on a Ryder Cup or something of that nature, then you didn't really know what to expect. But man, that alternate shot was really hard. It took a while to settle in. on that first round because I just felt lucky to be in the field because I wasn't exempt into that tournament. I love playing there, and then I schmoozed him on the airplane when we had a couple beers from Puerto Rico. So apparently he was quite impressed with my persistence. So he picked me, and but yeah, I hit a drive right on our third hole and almost put him in the woods, but he had this miraculous recovery shot. Anyways, it was a super, super intense that first day for alternate.
Yeah, what's the approach with golf ball? I feel like a lot of people overlook that when you're playing alternate shot, you're kind of stuck with that ball the whole hole.
Yeah. I mean, in the practice round, you hit a couple extra, shots into the wind just to see how far they would go, and shots around the greens. I mean, the Strixon and the Callaway ball were pretty similar. The Strixon just goes in the wind slightly better. But, I mean, it was just if you teed off on your hole, then you just play their ball that hole. So you just went Strixon Callaway.
So you guys went 71, 63, 73, 64. Obviously, those alternate shot rounds, like you said, are an absolute grind. Did it just feel great to get to those best ball rounds?
Yeah, oh yeah. But, I mean, you knew everybody was going pretty ape shit out there. I mean, everybody played so well. It was really windy. It was pretty tough conditions. The first round wasn't that difficult, but it was just, it's still PGA Tour competition, and you sure as heck don't want to let your guy down. But I heard most teams had a no saying sorry policy. So you can't be a little, sissy about it and hang your head and tell your guy how sorry you are, because, that's just something you can't do. But I just thought it was funny that everybody was like, I heard one group, it was $100 every time you said sorry, $100.
See, I always wonder about that because I feel the same way when I play with guys and they hit, a shitty shot. I'm so sorry, man. I'm like, dude, I hit shitty shots all the time.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's what I tell amateurs. I'm like, hey, do you have a regular job? They're like, yeah. And I'm like, shut up. Like, don't get so worked up about this.
Like, it's not that big of a deal.
Yeah, we're going to be fine.
So there's a shit ton of rain delays. We had ended up being a Monday finish because of the playoff and all that. How much do and it always feels like in New Orleans, Zurich, it always gets rained out for certain portions. How much do the rain delays mess with you guys?
Not too bad. I mean, if they're long enough to the point where you can go back to the hotel and hang out and, maybe shower, get some room service. I mean, I did all of that. It wasn't bad. I mean, when they're delayed, I mean, when you get in that, they'll delay you 30-minute increments. So if they don't let you go anywhere and you end up being stuck at the clubhouse for 4 or 5 hours, I mean, that's not ideal. But this time they said the earliest we're going to play is 2:00, and it was 11 a.m. So you were able to just get out of Dodge and, go relax. So it's not too bad. I was just really glad to get it in when we finally went back out.
Yeah. So obviously, Zurich made a little bit of a bold move doing the format swap to the team event. I feel like most of the feedback's been pretty positive. What was kind of the chatter in the locker room like?
Oh, everybody had a blast. I mean, it was a much bigger draw for the big getting the big players there. It was 6 of the top 10 or something crazy. Yeah. And to no one's surprise, a team that, I mean, I know Blix has won twice, but, that playoff, it sure as heck wasn't Stinson, Rose, Fowler day. And everybody thought strongly that it wasn't going to be some big team that would win. So all of them missing the cut was bad, I'm sure, for the ratings, but I mean, it was still super sick. Everybody had an awesome time. Yeah,
we loved it because it was, like you said, you almost always, especially this year, it feels like you get the big-ass names there at the end, take it down the tourneys. Yeah. And this one, I mean, we got Cameron Smith, Jonas Blixt out there. Cameron Smith's in tears afterwards, can't even answer questions. It was sweet to see those types of teams, in the mix and getting into the playoff, I feel like.
Oh, yeah, it was unreal. That kid's on a nice little run now. So young. I think he's 22 or something, but he looks like he's 16.
He does look like a youngin'.
Yeah, but man, what a great deal. Yeah, it was super cool, and I mean, getting all those big names to come out there is cool, and the fans loved it, and it took a lot of pressure off. Like the best ball day was like the easiest. No, I call it Freak Out Friday, but there was no reason to freak out on Friday this time.
Yeah, it looked like everybody was just like having a fucking ball out there playing some golf.
Oh yeah, it was good stuff. A lot of fans came out on the weekend, and it was just nice to play on the weekend. The first time in a while. I'm just so glad he picked me.
Yeah, that's been like my favorite part of this whole thing. We talked to a couple groups, and the way, because you get to pick your own partner if people don't know, and the stories that come out of it are pretty cool. I like yours the best, I think.
Yeah, the airplane story. I got him a little liquored up, and he just I met his wife down there, and apparently he was quite impressed with the fact that I just wanted to play with one of the veterans.
Yeah, I mean, you played well too. He had to be pretty jacked up.
Oh yeah, it couldn't work out any better. I mean, other than us, maybe I missed a shocking amount of makeable putts on our back nine. So I mean, I had a chance to finish in the top 5. We had an excellent chance actually. I missed. It was pitiful, but I still made a couple birds. But yeah, it was making as much money as we did, getting FedEx Cup points, a little closer to my goal of keeping card, all that stuff. So it's just a beautiful thing.
And it's a hell of an event. Everybody, like I said, everybody seems to be pretty pumped about it. So you and I were texting a little bit Saturday morning. You played with Strix and Jerry Kelly. How was that round out there with those guys on Saturday?
It was cool. I mean, it's one of the biggest things that I get confidence from is playing with those guys. Played with Jerry Kelly a bunch. Never had the chance to play with Stricker, but when they're complimentary, but also when they miss a lot of putts too. You see a guy like Stricker struggling on the greens. I mean, I wouldn't say he struggled that day, but he sure as heck was really, really frustrated because he's used to making everything. But he missed a ton of putts. I mean, it's guys in my position to see that they're also human is pretty great.
Yeah, I feel like that's very relatable. That's why when guys like you fuck up on TV and guys like us are watching, we're like, oh, they do it too.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's definitely, it makes the mental part of it a lot easier to see some of the legends hit really bad shots. It's like the greatest feeling.
It's the greatest feeling, he says.
It is. It's a good feeling. It's nice to see you guys get the same feeling. It's great. So, all right, Willie, when are we going to see you next? What can we expect from you?
I've got a plane ticket to the Dominican for Wednesday. More than likely playing that. I'm like second or third alternate for the Wells Fargo.
Okay.
So more that prop, they've already taken a ton of withdrawals. I doubt I'm going to get in Wells, but I'm not worried about it at all. I love playing the Web. So go down to Punta Cana and play the Web this week, I reckon, and then week off, and then the Byron Nelson in Dallas, which I've always hung around in that tournament, done pretty good. So yeah, I mean, I have a pretty nice little schedule starting at the Byron. I mean, good a bit of events in the summer.
Absolutely. All right, man. Well, hey, hell of a weekend. Congrats on the good play, and thanks for chatting with us for a couple minutes.
Yeah, no, I always appreciate you guys having me on. Too bad I missed you guys when you were down in New Orleans.
We just missed each other,
you
right?
by like an hour. Probably better for everybody that we didn't end up down in New Orleans drinking together.
Yeah, no shit. That Tuesday night can sometimes get a little out of hand, so I'm glad I didn't know you guys were. Or I was going up to Baton Rouge for the Pro-Am thing, but anyways, next time.
We'll catch you next time. Keep it up, Willie.
I appreciate it.
See you, man.
Thanks, Willie.
All right, that little chat with our boy Willy Wilcox was brought to you by our friends at Wilson Golf. Wilson Golf is putting on a U.S. Open sweepstakes. All eyes will be on Erin Hills this June as golf's national championship heads to Wisconsin. That is creeping up, by the way. The U.S. Open's coming in real hot, real fast. It'll be here before you know it. Heading to Wisconsin for the first time in the U.S. Open's illustrious history, Wilson Golf is giving you the chance to cross another item off your bucket list. It's super easy to enter. Just visit wilson.com/D300sweeps. That's wilson.com/D300sweeps. and sign up. You'll automatically be entered for a chance to win 2 tickets to the 2017 U.S. Open, limited edition patriotic Wilson Staff D300 irons, a VIP tour of Wilson's headquarters in Chicago, along with flights, transportation, and accommodations all taken care of. That sounds absolutely phenomenal. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a hell of a package that the good folks at Wilson Golf, our good friends, have put together. U.S. Open is one of those sporting events. I mean, you pretty much just got to see it in person. Wilson Golf wants you to get there. If that's not enough, these irons, the winner will take home, are absolutely badass. We checked them out. Keep an eye on our Instagram account at ForePlayPod. We're going to be showcasing these irons very soon. So what are you waiting for? Get your ass moving. Get to Wilson.com/D300sweeps. That's Wilson.com/D300sweeps to find out more and sign up. It could mean winning a once-in-a-lifetime trip. All right, Trent, we're back. Wilson Golf sweepstakes. I mean, there's going to be people going to the U.S. Open. We might not even be going to the U.S. Open.
Yeah, I don't know. We had the U.S. Open trophy in here, though.
We did have the U.S. Open trophy.
It was sick.
And it's fucking sick.
It is sick.
Once again, go to our Instagram. Check that out.
You got to wear white gloves.
You do got to wear white gloves, which I thought made the pictures cooler and funnier.
It's true. I don't disagree with that whatsoever. And I like it. It makes it feel like fancy and prestigious.
Zurich Classic. We had Cameron Smith, Jonas Blixt in a playoff with Kevin Kisner, Scott Brown. Awesome event.
Yeah, and Willie said it too. It seemed like the players liked it too. This was an all-around good experience for the game of golf.
This was Jonas Blick's third, technically, PGA Tour win, and I watched his post-victory interview, co-interview that they did today, press conference, I guess you would call it, and he said, quote, "This was the most fun one."
Really?
I think that sums it up.
I think so too. Guys like team events. It can't fail.
They love the team event. It was crazy how much different the alternate shot is to the best ball. I mean, I get it that alternate shots are way tougher, but it was wild. The score differences. I mean, Thursday and Saturday were just a grind. Hang on, don't give up too many shots.
Yeah.
And then Friday, Sunday, it's just birdie barrage.
Yeah, it's crazy. I was looking at the scores. Let's see the winning. Oh, that thing just popped up on me. It goes like 67, 62, 68, 64. That's the winners. The other days, our guy Willy Wilcox, 71, 63, 73, 74. That's how big of a difference it is between those rounds.
Yeah, Kevin Kisner is now 0-4 in PGA Tour playoffs, I saw. But you cannot take away, he had what might go down at the end of the year as the shot of the year.
Unbelievable.
Holes out from... What was it, 50-something yards?
Yeah.
I think they said, I'm sorry, I think it was like 94 feet.
Okay.
With a wedge. So the other guys, they're one stroke down going into the 72nd hole. The other guys, the Cameron Smith guy with his wedge, hit like this crazy flop/pitch thing out of the rough, out of a downhill lie, lands on the front of the green, rolls all the way up to like 2 feet. So they're in for birdie. Kisner, Brown, they have to make eagle. Brown misses his third shot, misses his third attempt. Kisner hits this low, aggressive shot with a little bit of spin on it, but it's coming in hot. Flag stick, down.
Drops.
Huge celly.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
And I said it last week, I don't know if it was one of our interviews, but when we were talking about the Zurich Classic, the visuals of this tournament, I said what's like gonna carry this thing on. That visual right there, the chip in and him celebrating with his teammate, that is so good for the tournament and so good for golf. That's why they need more events like this.
And Faldo said it right away. He's like, that's what we were waiting for.
Exactly.
And he's right. I mean, that's...
You don't get that anywhere else.
Caddies, all their caddies are high-fiving each other. That whole crew, that foursome was all jacked up. And then the other guys, Cameron Smith had to make, that 2.5-footer or whatever it was.
Yep.
Which, that's a little nervy after it's looking like he got the thing wrapped up. So it goes to a playoff this morning, Monday morning. Lame-ass start to the playoff.
Yeah, that was tough.
Lame as fuck.
To go from the chip in and then you got to wait, go Monday morning, and then you're like, ugh.
Really drained a lot of the energy, but, there's no other way to do it with all the rain delays and all that. This was some of the worst putting I've ever seen in my entire life. Yeah. I don't know where that comes from because these guys, they're such good putters. Their touch, their feel, the amount that they practice on their strokes to make sure they're perfect, which almost all of them are.
When we were at the Zurich, so we got there, it was Tuesday, and we watched these guys putt for hours.
They're so good on the greens that these, and the greens are so perfect. And it was perfect this morning, Monday morning, the sun, there's no rain, everything was perfect. Start out the par 5 18th, very birdieable hole, incredibly birdieable hole. Mm-hmm. Like we said on Sunday night, there's a freaking eagle and a birdie from the same foursome. They go 8 pars between the 4 of them running through it the first 2 times. And the putts that these guys had, they had very makeable putts, good looks. They weren't even sniffing the hole. It was nuts.
Yeah, that's a shitty way to do a playoff, just a bunch of pars and pars and pars.
So then they went to the 9th. The guys hit some good shots again. Nobody even sniffed the hole on the 9th hole after some very good tee shots. Finally, 4th playoff hole. Again, our guy, this Cameron Smith guy, this Aussie dude, who's the man. I sent Elk a DM. Elk loves him. Elk's like, this kid's the shit.
Okay, that's good. Elk's seal of approval is big.
He got the Elk seal of approval, indeed. But Smith, again, wedges it to about 3 feet. Finally, the birdie, the only birdie out of 4 holes between 4 guys. When these groups yesterday, I mean, Sunday, they couldn't stop making birdies.
I would be curious to ask them, like, how shitty it felt to have to go back out Monday morning as opposed to just staying out there and keeping the energy up. It has to be a pretty marketable difference.
Yeah, I mean, it is. It's definitely a difference, but at the same time, I mean, you're in a position where you don't have to worry about the rest of the field. Now, you wake up and you just got to go win 1 hole and you win a PGA Tour event.
Yeah, you're right.
So, I mean, it's got to be a good feeling. You know the weather's going to be good. It's kind of a crazy idea that you're gonna go out there, you're gonna go through your whole warm up routine and all that, and potentially play 1 hole.
That's true.
So I mean, it's definitely wild. It's different. I was a fucking idiot, and I was like, on the first playoff hole, Blixt was outside of Cameron Smith, who had a putt to win the tournament for birdie.
Yeah.
And I was like, he was like a foot outside of him, and Blix was putting for par. And I was like, why don't they just give him that putt?
Yeah.
Just concede it so you don't see the line. Like, Smith's not going to 3-putt. People were like, it's stroke play, you fucking idiot.
Yeah.
I was like, oh.
Hey, man.
Touche.
We're all learning here with these new events and their new formats.
It didn't even cross my mind that it wasn't match play. I was like, what are you talking about? Then somebody said that. I was like, okay. So it was crazy. Cameron Smith's crying afterwards.
That was a cool moment.
He's a 23-year-old dude. He does live in Jacksonville, and he just got into the Players. He also got into the PGA. He's got a 2-year exemption on tour. He won over $1 million.
So, I mean, these are big things. Understandably speechless.
Huge for him. You could see, too, Blixt was, like, in tears for him.
Yeah.
Because he knew how much it meant to him.
Yeah.
So it was really cool to see.
That's yet another visual. When they're doing the interview, they go to Smith, and they ask him the question. He literally cannot speak, and his teammate is there with his arm around him and is like, I'll answer this one. These are great things. That's another Faldo, this is what we were waiting for moment.
What a move by the Zurich to reformat. I've written it a bunch of times in all my blogs from this weekend, but like you never see a tournament do that.
If you're some fucking tournament like that, like a forgettable tournament on the schedule, I think you just got to go team format.
You have to. You got to do something. I mean, you can't just, you don't want to just copy these guys, but but if you're kind of stuck in there, this is a good way to do it. Kudos to them. What an awesome event. Pulling for this guy, he showed a lot of balls. He had a lot of really good shots down the stretch. So it was good. It was fun to watch. Like Willie said, it was really cool, too, how it churned out teams that weren't like the big names.
Yeah, and Willie didn't say, but he was kind of saying it like it was a good thing that the big names missed the cut. It's shitty that they're not there, but then to have a finish like that, despite it being on Monday, it was very, very cool.
Other storylines we had coming out of it, I wrote a bunch down here. We had Brooks and Chase Koepka. Chase Koepka gets into the Wells Fargo this weekend after they shot a Sunday 62 and got inside the top 5. Gigantic for him. He recently graduated from USF. Kind of trying to earn enough points to qualify for the Web.com Tour playoffs and all of that. He's actually USF's all-time wins leader. So gigantic for him getting his career kick-started.
Yep.
Nice to kind of hitch his wagon to good old Brooks, brother Brooks there. We had our guy, one of our guys, foreplay guy.
Whole bunch of foreplay guys on his.
Ryan Palmer, Jordan Spieth with a T4. They were charging.
Yeah, they were.
On Sunday, we had Spieth had that wild toilet bowl putt that lipped out. Otherwise, they could have had a shot to maybe make an eagle on 18 and have a chance to get into a playoff. Wouldn't have mattered because the guys ended up getting to 27 under, which was nuts at the end of it. But shout out to Ryan Palmer. We also had Wesley Bryan, Ryan Blom finished T29. Notable miscuts, Fowler and Day, Rose and Stenson.
Yeah, Rose and Stenson, I believe, was your pick to win it?
They were my pick to win it. It doesn't feel good. Might have hurt Rose that he almost ran into us on the sidewalk.
Probably.
On Tuesday.
We could have done whatever we wanted. No security.
Yep. And then the other kind of drama we had this weekend was the LPGA Tour.
Wait. We got to talk Poulter.
Okay. Yeah.
Do you want to do that now?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay. I don't know if you want to do that now or we wanted to wait.
Whenever you want.
I didn't want to run out of gas before we got to talk about our fucking dude Poulter. So it comes out over the weekend on Saturday. I was in Philly. I was dartying at a brunch, having a good old time, and it comes across the Twitter that Ian Poulter he is no longer losing his card. He's getting his card for the rest of the season because of, inequalities or inaccuracies with the scoring.
Something like that.
What do you think about all this?
I mean, look, I think Ian Poulter is a well-documented asshole that is tone deaf, can't relate to the normal person.
Yeah.
And has proven that via social media, yelling at cameramen, all these types of different incidents.
Yeah.
So I like to see him fail and to see his life be worse.
Mm-hmm.
I do, however, think it's better for content when he's in the mix, when he's in tournaments. This almost gives him like kind of a little villainous move that like he should have lost his card, but like somebody fucked with the numbers, cooked the numbers in the back to get him back in. It's drama. Drama's good for us, but I don't like Poulter.
I don't feel that way about this at all.
Okay.
I would feel that way about if this happened to Bubba. Because Bubba, to me, I do not like the things that he does, but I don't think he is a terrible person like I think Poulter is. I really, really wanted Poulter to fall. I want him to lose everything. I want his Ferraris to get repossessed. I want him to lose his house. I want him to lose his kids. I want all of those things to happen to him.
Okay.
So for this, I know what you're saying. In our business, it's good for us to have foils. I have a foil in Bubba Watson. I can talk shit about him. Ian Poulter can vanish off the face of the earth, and I wouldn't give a fuck. And now he's back in our lives because of some inequality, inaccuracy. It honestly sounds like bullshit to me. Like they massage the rules so they can have Poulter back on here, so they can piss off guys like me and we can keep talking about it on this fucking podcast.
I just think it was inevitable that he was going to get, sponsors exemptions and this and that he was going to churn back up anyways. So it doesn't really bother me that much. And we already had our awesome celebratory weekend where he missed the cut and we thought his life was ruined.
That doesn't feel empty to you?
No.
That feels so empty to me.
Because, I get the argument that it was a little empty, but, I already had it. It's like when our good old boss, Dave,
I was just going to say this.
fucked up his celebration on gambling the other day.
Yeah.
And thought that he won a ton of money on the Cardinals walk-off grand slam, but he actually had the other way. It's like he already had the enjoyment of it.
But he feels the same way I do. I ask him, is it you got that moment? So he's like, it doesn't matter. It wasn't real. It wasn't
lost
real.
My money, yeah.
Yeah.
No, I'm not happy about it, but it doesn't bother me that much.
And you're right. Poulter was going to play anyway, probably with sponsor exemptions and all that shit. But we were able to at one point say, remember that time you lost your tour card? That's gone.
I think it emphasizes, it adds another layer to how much and why to hate.
I certainly hate him more now.
Which he doesn't deserve to be here.
Right.
Is great.
I certainly hate him more now. I didn't think I could even hate him more than I did before. But for him to now come back and he's like, oh, by the way, I still have my card when you guys thought I didn't.
I think it'll be really fun to do all kinds of jokes. Like if Poulter finishes 8th or something, we'll talk about the people that finished 9th and be like, oh, no, they actually finished 8th because Poulter's he's not actually here.
All right, I don't hate that.
So, that type of stuff I think will be really fun. But
it did fuck up my Saturday, though. I was out and about, and I thought it was going to be the best day ever, and here comes Poulter, swinging his dick around. He's posting on Instagram. He's posting, hey, by the way, I still have my tour card. That stuff pisses me off.
See, I kind of I responded like the protagonist does when, the antagonist does something in a movie where I looked at it and I was like, ha. All right, Poulter, touche, buddy.
No.
We'll see you again, pal. You know what I mean?
I do understand that, but you're living it like it's a movie or a play. This feels too real to me where I just want him, dead.
All right, so Poulter's back. He's back on the scene. He's going to be around. There'll be a lot more Poulter talk. We had some unprecedented, very rare, very unique LPGA Tour drama yesterday.
Sure did.
Now, I tweet about all kinds of random shit. I get tangled up in different sports. I started tweeting about Tottenham yesterday. At one point, I fired off a tweet about polo.
This is what happens when men's golf gets delayed.
Yep.
Riggsy just kind of goes down whatever tickles his
I'm
fancy.
just looking for something. I need something to buy into. And yesterday it was lady golf. Somebody sends me this tweet. They're like, Riggs, you got to tune in to the LPGA. It's chaos. I was like, all right, what? This is even pre-playoff. This girl, Nomura, she's got a 1,000,000,000-shot lead heading into the back nine. She was 6 over through the first 8 holes on the back nine, including a double bogey on 17, and needed birdie on 18 just to get into a playoff after she had a 5 or 6 shot lead. It was crazy. They were 45-mile-an-hour winds. It was awesome. So I tune in and I'm like, oh, this is great. The 18th hole is this crazy-ass par 5. that there's water, there's trees. The whole fairway slopes heavily left to right. So these chicks, they're hitting great tee shots that are just ending up in the right rough behind trees. One of the worst, most poorly designed golf holes I've ever seen. This Nomura chick, after bogey, double bogeys left and right, she's collapsing. She hits it pin high left, chips it 8 or so feet by, has to make an 8-footer in 45-mile-an-hour winds, a little slider, drills it in the heart. They go to a playoff. It's her and this Christy Kerr. I was spelling it. By the way, I got a text from one of my Golf Channel people. I was spelling Christy Kerr wrong.
Yeah.
It's like, who gives a fuck? It's Christy Kerr. Whatever. So anyways, it's Christy without an H, everyone. So just get it right. These chicks, same thing as the other playoff. Some of the worst putting I've ever seen. They're hitting. Christy Kerr's taking 95 minutes in between shots. Everyone's trying to fall asleep. Then the fucking PGA Tour comes back. So you've got Spieth and these people in the mix in the first team event in 36 years. And they have to leave, I think it was the CBS coverage.
Yeah.
So they're double box NFL red zoning, the LPGA, PGA. It was crazy.
They might have stumbled onto something there, though. Do you feel that way?
Yeah, but it was and it was great because I saw Smiley freaking out, being why the fuck are we watching the lady golf? But then there was people that were on my train that were well, I get the argument, but I'm so invested in the lady golf now that I don't want to miss the playoff. It was wild. It was such a wild night. I loved it. I was so juiced up off of this fucking tournament. And I wanted Christy Kerr to lose so badly when she had one time where she went for the green at 2, hit it way over the green. Not way over. I'm sorry. Hit the grandstands. So it stopped maybe 10 feet off the green, but she had a bunch of fringe to putt through. Mm-hmm. So she gets to take a drop off from the grandstand. She must have took 15 minutes to hit a putt and then hit it 50 feet short of the fucking
I will say, so I didn't watch.
Nuts.
You're living and dying with this. I didn't watch any of this. I feel shitty, but I did see the main takeaway was these ladies are taking forever to do anything.
It was nuts. So then Christy Kerr, I saw a couple tweets that she put out, I think today. She said, "We both played our hearts out. Hope people can understand why there was slow play. Hashtag 45 miles per hour." Another tweet, "Sorry everyone for the slow play yesterday. The conditions were incredibly tough. That 18th hole is very difficult. Very tricky with 40-mile-per-hour winds." Third tweet, "Both players took a lot of time, by the way." And that's all I'm going to say about that. Hope everybody remains a fan of the LPGA. Look, I'm still a huge LPGA fan.
Maybe bigger.
Just play faster.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
Yeah. You know what that might have helped them play faster? If they could have seen the holes better.
Ooh.
And let me tell you this. Let me tell you about our friends at Warby Parker can help you out with that.
Please do, Trent.
Warby Parker was founded with a rebellious spirit and lofty goal to create boutique quality eyewear at a revolutionary price point. A collaboration between 4 close friends, Warby Parker was conceived as an alternative to the overpriced and bland eyewear available today. Prescription eyewear shouldn't cost you more than a plane ticket or a new iPhone. By circumventing traditional channels and engaging with customers directly through their website and retail stores, Warby Parker is able to provide high-quality, good-looking prescription eyewear at a fraction of the price. The Warby Parker aesthetic is vintage-inspired with a contemporary twist. Every pair is custom-fit with an anti-reflective polycarbonate prescription lenses. Available exclusively through Warby Parker's website and retail stores, glasses start at $95, including prescription bonuses. They are also an eyewear with a purpose. Almost 1 billion people people worldwide lack access to glasses. This means that 15% of the global population cannot effectively learn or work, which is crazy because glasses were invented 700 years ago.
That's nuts.
That is nuts. We should be on top of this. Warby Parker partners with nonprofits like Vision Spring to ensure for every pair of glasses sold, a pair is distributed to someone in need. We believe that everyone has the right to see. That's true.
That is true.
Let me tell you this. This is what they do, and this is what they did for me. This is my personal experience. It's a free home try-on program. You order 5 glasses. You go onto their website. They're very trendy. Rob and I wear glasses.
Yeah, I wear glasses.
Yeah, we're not exactly the trendiest guys. We probably need help in this area.
Yeah, we got to step it up.
Got to step it up. So Warby Parker's going to help us with that. You order 5 pairs. It ships free and includes a prepaid return shipping label. So you pick the one you like. You send the others back. The way to do this, you go to warbyparker.com/Fore. That's Fore to order your home free try-on today. The glasses start at $95, like I said, including prescription lenses. Lenses include an anti-glare and anti-scratch coatings. That's always nice because I drop my glasses all over the place. For every pair you buy, a pair is distributed to someone in need. So go get your Warby Parker glasses, the free try-on program. 5 pairs, you pick one, send the others back, and you're going to be looking hot as shit for the summer.
I'll be honest. If you're a glasses guy,
yeah,
I feel like you need to take your glasses seriously.
Oh, you do.
Yeah.
You know, you need to have a look because that's defines your face.
Yeah, you gotta wear them 24/7.
And
I you could wear contacts.
And I
which
gotta tell you, I don't feel like I've taken my glasses that seriously since I've had them. I've had them for a while, but Warby Parker's, kicking my ass into shape with that.
That's huge. That's huge if you're I might become a glasses guy so I can get Warby Parker.
I believe our guy John Feidelberg did that.
That's literally what John Feidelberg did.
That's appropriation.
That is. Oh, that's good. You should have brought that up when he did it.
Yeah, you probably should have brought that up.
It's not cool, man.
Okay, so moving on, we got to do a quick greenskeeping. I want to just shout out. We are giving away a driver. We got a bazillion more submissions than we expected.
Mm-hmm.
And to uphold the integrity of a driver giveaway, we don't want to just read 5 of them, pick a funny one, and give it away.
Yeah.
We're going through all of them, every single one of them. I think we literally got like 750.
Yeah.
We're going to put out a video this week that's going to declare the winner of the Cobra King F7 driver. That's coming. Also, we conducted producer, intern, /producer/intern, but mostly a producer interviews.
When you said, yeah.
On Friday.
We sure did.
We found our guy.
Quite a process.
We had a bunch of interviews. We had, along the same numbers as the driver giveaway submissions, we had like 700 emails that we got. We narrowed it down to about 7 people. The people that came in were awesome.
They were.
We got our guy. He's starting in a couple weeks. So those that are continuously sending us submissions, we really appreciate it. For now, our roster's full.
Yep.
We never know we're going to need more help. We're growing fast, which is good. When you grow, you need more help. We're creating jobs. We're good for the economy, capitalism, all that stuff.
Yeah.
But we got our guy.
We giving out his name, or are we just we're gonna wait to unveil that?
I don't like to count my chickens before they hatch.
Okay.
So if he, it's still 2 weeks.
He could bail on us.
Anything could happen in 2 weeks. You never know. But I think we got our guy. He's an absolute all-star. He's the man.
Yeah.
He's got a great nickname, too, we believe. So
he gets the Robbie seal of approval, I would think.
He does.
Taking the place.
He was my pick, yeah.
Okay.
He was Rob's pick. He was pretty much Rob's unanimous pick.
Yeah.
And
I was pretty passionate about this guy.
You were very passionate. He's the man. So we're excited about that. There'll be a big reveal coming both on the new producer and the driver giveaway. Driver giveaway this week, new producer probably in a couple of weeks when I'm officially convinced that he's going to come on board. Next up, we got a wildly unique opportunity to chat with an MLB Hall of Famer.
George Brett.
George Brett was in the office. He is maybe the most interesting, down-to-earth guy.
Yes. So
he's such a big name.
Yes, he's huge. That's what I was going to say. So you guys have been here. You were here a few months before I was.
Yep.
George Brett coming in here, that's the biggest name that I think I've seen in here. And it was the most fun because they made barbecue for us. But everybody in this office, not only is he a big deal to us because you know the name, but people were telling like their dads that George Brett was in the office, and people were shitting their pants.
Office manager Brett is literally named after George Brett, and George Brett called office manager Brett's father.
That's really best case scenario for like when Brett's dad has a son and names him after George Brett. You're hoping somewhere along the line that he's going to get you to meet George Brett, and that's what happened.
That's just an awesome moment.
Yeah.
The guy's the man.
I almost cried.
Me too. I mean, I was like in tears with this dude, and then
That
we got
was,
him.
Unbelievable.
We got him on foreplay.
Yeah.
For a good 20 minutes. Gigantic golfer. Like I said, he's won the Pebble Beach Pro-Am before, played with good old Freddie Couples, Freddie Boom Boom.
Yep.
As big of a name as he is, he's a very normal guy.
Yeah,
you know what's perfect for the normal guys? The Normal brand. Normal brand makes absolutely phenomenal stuff. Guys, you ever walk into a store, think, who are these clothes made for? I don't know anything about it. I don't know how to shop. Sometimes you're looking at preppy pink polos, ultra trendy shirts with disco patterns, all kinds of weird shits, jackets made for, I don't know, climbing Mount Everest. I just want a normal shirt, something that's not super preppy, something that's not ultra trendy, insanely comfortable fabrics, great colors, subtle but, I don't know, significant details would be nice. Fits great, is super comfortable, clothes that I actually want to wear, that type of thing. The Normal brand is just for you. You look normal, but they're great shirts. They're great clothes all around. They're comfortable. You wear them every day. That's a better normal shirt. Pretty much all their stuff's kind of my new favorite stuff.
Yeah, I don't want to jump in on your thing here, but they sent us a bunch of stuff, and I wore a bunch of it over the weekend in Philly.
It's really unbelievable. I wear the Normal brand, like I said, because I'm dumb. I don't know how to shop, but I really do like to wear nice stuff. But I'm a normal dude, so I can't wear like crazy stuff. Perfect for me, whether it's a button-down, a polo, a Henley, a T-shirt, a hat. I'm wearing the Normal Brand every day. Start your summer off looking, feeling good by picking up some new clothes at thenormalbrand.com. You can get a special 15% off your order at thenormalbrand.com when you use our code FORE, F-O-R-E. That's thenormalbrand.com. Enter FORE, F-O-R-E. You get 15% off of your order. That's The Normal Brand, a better normal shirt. Now this is us with George Brett.
All right, we are now joined by a man who really needs no introduction, but I'm going to do it anyway. He's a 13-time All-Star. He's got over 3,100 hits, won the 1985 World Series with the Royals. The list of accolades go on and on. We are now joined by Hall of Fame third baseman George Brett. George, how we doing?
I'm doing great.
Thoughts on The Office so far?
I love it.
Yeah?
I love it.
It's
you guys
nice.
don't have enough fun here.
Yeah, we get that all the time.
And wait till you try the ribs today.
Oh,
And
we
the burn
so
ends.
we see him setting up shop out there, and
Yeah.
I haven't had lunch yet, so I'm getting excited.
Either have I. I haven't had breakfast or lunch.
You saving up for the big meal?
Yeah.
That's exciting.
Yeah, so we're wearing the shirts right now. We could do a little plug right now.
Right. Meet
It's
Mitch.
Meet Mitch. Tell us a little bit about Meet Mitch.
Meet Mitch is just a good buddy of mine. I've known him for years in Kansas City, and he lives about 2.5 blocks from me. Used to be a TaylorMade rep.
Okay.
I loved him when he was a TaylorMade rep because I got all my clubs for free, all my balls for free,
perfect.
all my gloves for free. Anytime they came out with a new product, I had one.
We're gonna have
And
to be really nice to Mitch.
he no longer works for TaylorMade.
Okay.
But I think he still has some pull.
Still some connections
Still
there.
some pull, but he's always been a weekend warrior barbecuer, smoking ribs, smoking brisket, smoking pulled pork, all that stuff, and he's gotten me to kind of be on his team. He has a big team in Kansas City. They have in Kansas City the biggest barbecue competition in the world.
Okay.
And it's called the American Royal Barbecue, and Mitch has a team. I'm kind of on his team, and I have a smoker in my backyard now. I've seen him smoke enough where I like to smoke ribs and stuff in my backyard, so somehow we got here, and I'm here in New York with him, and we're feeding you guys today, and you guys get to try the product.
We're excited. So I'm a St. Louis guy. I
Right.
very
Well,
rarely...
you have good barbecue there.
Yeah.
We do.
Do
but
they have good barbecue in New York?
No.
I haven't even tried.
no, it's
so we've
not
only
very
been here
good.
for a few months, but I feel like you avoid the
Now, where are you
barbecue in
from?
New York. So I'm from Iowa.
They probably have decent barbecue.
They do. We've
there.
got great meats out there, but I'm afraid to try
Yeah.
the barbecue in New York because
Right.
that's not really known for what it's.
Well, it's it's very time consuming. You know, by the time you get it room temperature and you put the rub on, that's an hour and a half. Then
Yep.
you 3 hours to cook, and then you take them out, you smother them with sauce, wrap them in tin foil, cook them another hour.
Yep.
So it's a 6-7 hour day.
So my brother's got the discipline. I don't. He gets up early, prepares everything,
Yeah.
even stops by on his lunch break while he's working, does whatever he needs to do, and then comes home and they're ready for dinner. I don't have that kind of discipline. I'm
Right.
not even close. But anyways, you're a big golfer.
yeah, I love golf.
We got to talk about, let's start 1987,
Right.
Pebble Beach Pro-Am.
Sure.
You won it with good old Freddie Couples.
Right.
Talk about that a little bit.
Well, Fred was a neighbor. I had a place in Palm Springs, and I'd winter there after the season. I'd usually go out there in November 1st, because they reseeded all the golf courses. They put the winter eye on, or they put the grass in for the to get it through the winter. And I ended up meeting Debbie, Fred's wife, Debbie, first. I met her at the tennis shop.
Okay.
And good friend of mine was the tennis pro at Mission Hills Country Club, and so she says, yeah, my husband's a golf pro. And so I said, oh, what clubs does he work at? He said, no, he plays on tour, and he's not really an outgoing guy, so why don't you give him a call and play some golf with him? I called him up, and a friendship started that day, and we played a lot of golf together. And sure enough, he said, you should come up and play with me at the Pebble Beach. So I said, okay, fine. I'd play with him and John Cook an awful lot.
Okay.
That was our Johnny Bench lived right down the street too. So we were all playing to golf a lot together. And so I said, well, what's my handicap? And so Freddie says, well, God, I think you'd be about a 17 or 18.
Yeah, because how into golf were you at the time?
Well, I would only play in the wintertime.
Okay.
Yep.
Gotcha.
And I never had a lesson.
Right.
I had crappy clubs, and so all of a sudden, we submit my handicap as a 17. And John Cook thought, yeah, you're a 17. And Johnny Bench said, yeah, you're a 17.
And they played quite a bit with you.
And yeah, we played a lot. I mean, if I hit a ball out of bounds, I just, go up there and drop it where it went out. And
Oh, yeah,
you're not taking
we
it
know
too
that.
I didn't
We know that.
re-tee it. And, I'm hitting three, guys.
Our listeners are very familiar with
right.
that.
Everybody
And-
at home's like, oh, yeah,
and
we know
the
that
first
game.
day, the first day we played Spyglass, I had one par.
Okay.
And I remember we teed off on 10, and Freddie made about a 20-footer on 10 for birdie. And I said, God, Fred, that's the longest putt I've ever seen you make. And I bet we played 150 rounds together.
Yep.
And we got a good laugh out of it.
Right.
And the next day I did a little bit better, maybe had 3 pars. And on Saturday, and, I don't like to play in front of thousands and thousands of people. And obviously that's what Pebble Beach is.
Right.
On Saturday I had 9 pars and a birdie. I didn't finish the other holes. And then on Sunday, I'm playing in the third to the last group with Johnny Miller and Fred Couples. Telly Savalas was supposed to play with us, but he didn't play. He said he hurt his foot or something.
Okay.
So it
Big
was
night
a
out
threesome,
Saturday,
and Johnny Miller ended up winning that tournament. And Fred just said, George, look, we can't. I don't want you just walk with me down the fairway. Don't say a word to Johnny unless he speaks to you. And when we get to the green, you watch me. I don't want you walking through his line or anything. So just keep an eye on me. And I had been out every night when I was there in Carmel with Gary McCord.
Okay. Yep.
And we're out till 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the morning, having some beers, and. So he's all over me on the broadcast. Look at this swing, 17 handicap, my ass. Watch this. I bet he hits it right down the middle. Yeah. Sure enough, 3-wood right down the middle. Yep. Then all of a sudden, I hit on 16. I hit a good second shot, and I was like a foot from the green. And he said, now, and I seen the broadcast, and Gary says, now if he can get this close, this is the biggest sandbagger in the history of golf. I tried to chip it. I chipped it about 2 inches. And the next chip, I sculled over the green. He says, well, maybe he is a 17 handicap.
You saved yourself a little bit.
But we ended up in a tie with Wayne Levy and somebody else. And first time they'd ever had a tie, they sent us back out to play. And so now the tournament's over, and everybody's walking out, and all of a sudden we're teeing off. Now everybody that wants to watch more golf, they start watching us.
Yeah.
I 3-putted one for a bogey. For a par. Okay. Fred already had a par. I didn't even finish number 2. Pin high in 2, and I sculled it over the bunker, across the street into a tree I just picked up. Fred won that hole for us. But I did par number 3 and for the win. And that was huge. I had a 12-inch putt for par, and I swear to God, I thought I was going to miss it. I had no idea. I've never been so nervous.
So I got to ask you because obviously one of the greatest third basemen of all time, you're World Series champ, but playing golf, in front of that many people, how different is that?
Well, they just expect you to be good,
right?
Because you're a good hitter. It would be different if I was a bad hitter, if I was a 220 hitter and I was playing. They said, well, he couldn't. What makes me think he can hit a golf ball if he can't hit a baseball,
Right.
Yeah,
but if you can hit a baseball, you're successul at it, coming at you 95, 100 miles an hour, sure as hell you can hit that little ball
just
sitting on a
sitting
tee.
there, right?
Yeah, they even tee it up for you, George.
Right, I know it.
I tell myself that every time. Like, it's just fucking sitting there. Just hit the ball.
Right, exactly.
So, those nerves, those nerves are a lot different. It's funny. We talk all the time. If I'm playing in front of my buddies, no problem. But one group pulls up behind you on the tee. I can't even swing the club.
Right.
So how's the golf game nowadays?
It's actually pretty good. I got my handicap down to as low as it's ever been, a 3.
Okay.
I had a wonderful weekend last weekend. I was invited to go down to Augusta National.
Oh.
We were just there.
And I got a chance to play that for, I think, the 4th or 5th time. And it is just a magical, magical place, isn't it?
Yeah, it was our first time there. We were there all Masters
Were you
week.
amazed by how hilly it was?
Yep.
That's the thing. That's what everybody says, and then you're still not ready for it. You get there because it doesn't translate on TV, and you get there and it's even hillier than the people who told you it was going to be hilly.
Well, I played Peachtree the day before in Atlanta. Okay. And Peachtree is, of course, very, very similar. They call it the Augusta of Atlanta. Okay. And I played with a good friend of mine who's the head pro there, Don Perno. And so we played with him and then went up to Augusta and played and then flew home. But it was, a great 2 days of golf.
I'm very jealous. We said the same thing, that I couldn't believe how many just mounds there were that made it look almost like it was European in the fairways. You never have a flat lie and all that. So do you guys get into some kind of match out there at Augusta? So those back nines worth it?
We had a match, but no one ever knew what we were playing for, and no one ever paid off. So it was a good match, though.
Probably better that way. You just enjoy the whole round and all that. So last year, I believe it was last year, you had the round of your life.
Yeah.
Which was
God, how do you
68.
know all this?
We're professionals.
Yeah,
we
do research.
Professionals. Which I believe was a 68.
Right.
And there's a great voicemail that you left.
68 at Mission Hills in the voicemail.
Seabass, George Cullen, your boy Tattersall's created a monster. Played today, walked 18 holes at Mission, 68. Knockdown shots everywhere. Should have had, I swear to God, on the stack of Bibles, I could have shot 64. Missed a short putt for birdie on 2, 8-footer on 3 for birdie, up 4. 6 made birdie. 7 had about a 15-footer for birdie. 8 about a 10-footer for birdie. Of course, I missed it. Bogeyed 9, birdied 10. On 11 had about a 4-footer for birdie. The next hole, 12, had about a 6-footer for birdie. I missed. The next hole had about a 10-footer for birdie. Missed it. The next hole birdied, drove it in the bunker and knocked it a foot away. The next hole par 16, par 17, and par 18 for a nice little 68. I swear to God, I should have shot 65. And all I'm doing is taking one more club, standing a little closer, got my weight on the arches of my feet, not my toes, and hitting lasers right at the flag all day long. And golf is actually a lot of fun. Anyways, I was just calling to check in. Give me Tattersall if you can. I don't have his number or his email address. I'd love to give him a progress report. And Jigger hates me because I got him today big time. And I got Matt Gogol and I got Brian Norton, too. See you.
Everybody's been there where for whatever reason you're having the round of your life. What was clicking that day? You got to talk about that round.
Well, I had met a guy through some mutual friends, a teacher, top 100 teacher, John Tattersall. He's out of Atlanta.
Okay.
And we hit some balls, played a little golf for 2 or 3 days. And he just kind of helped me with some basic things, you know. And all of a sudden, he taught me how to hit this knockdown shot. And so I'm saying, I'm going to work on my knockdown shot today. I had a bunch of them. Man, I was hitting these things 200 yards, taking one more club. Normally I hit a 5-iron. I was taking a 4-iron, putting my weight on the front, standing a little closer to the ball, choking up a little bit, kind of trapping it. 5 feet from the hole. Okay. I'm going, you got to be kidding me. And I'm going, this is unbelievable. If I would have putted that day, it's a par 70 course where I play in Kansas City. If I would have putted, I could have shot 65. I made some birdie putts, some long ones, but I missed probably 2 or 3 10-footer and less for birdie. But it was just, I was down the middle of the fairway all day long, and I was hitting greens, and if I didn't hit a green, I didn't short side myself, where I had some green to work with. And that's where I usually get in trouble. If I short side myself, you know, I've really worked on my short game this spring training down in Surprise. But my short game is the thing that usually suffers, and distance is no problem.
Right.
But the accuracy, I hit it in the rough a lot. But that day I was hitting everything in the fairway, and we all know, you guys, what's your handicap?
About 20.
I'm a 4.
4?
Yeah.
But, it's easier to play off the short grass than the long grass.
Oh, yeah. It's way easier. And there's just some of those days where you're not thinking about anything. You're just swinging.
And you know what it was, too? Sometimes you get up there and, you're trying to line up and you're going, God, I feel like I'm lined up over there.
Yeah.
And you're always fidgeting.
Yep.
That day I just stood up the ball and going, shit, I'm locked in.
You're just in the zone.
Especially you play a Donald Ross course. He's got you lined up all over the freaking place.
Just swing.
Yep.
I didn't have to, I had no swing thoughts that day.
And those are that's when, it's so frustrating because you wish you could just bottle that up. And
Right.
then you go to the range the next time and you're all over the
it's
map.
Well, I shot, and the pros do it all the time. I think I shot 68 that day, went out 2 days later and shot 81.
And you felt like you're doing the same
I didn't even want to play the next day because I wanted to revel in it.
You're just like, I'm not going to play for a while.
So when you shoot that 68, you must have shit kicked the guys you're playing against.
Yeah.
Just took them for everything they got.
My favorite part of that email, there's a lot of quotes in it, but one of them was you're just like, golf is fun.
Yeah.
It's actually a fun game.
It's actually enjoyable.
Yeah. I left that message to Jason Seaman, who's the head of Bushnell Golf in Kansas City, and I think the country. But I left it on his voicemail because he's the one that got me hooked up with Tattersall.
Gotcha.
And then he sent it to Tattersall.
That's very, very relatable because I've had my brother and I, we're very close, and we grew up beginning to love golf together. So anytime I have a round anywhere, like a nice club, or if I have a good round, I call them immediately and just tell them about every fucking shot.
Right, yeah. I remember going home and telling my wife shots, you know. She said, how'd you do on the course today? Well, on the first hole, I hit a great drive right down the middle.
Just like,
and she's going, oh, my God, why do I even ask? She doesn't even ask anymore.
Just a token question, and you go on all day. Let me tell you about every shot, honey.
And I remember when I got married and we had kids, and I'd go play golf, and she'd go, you're going to go play golf again today? And I'd come home, I might win $30 or $40. I'd give it to her. All of a sudden, she didn't mind if I went and played golf. And all of a sudden, I started losing a lot of money, and she said, what are you going back for?
Right.
I said, the guys call me every day. They want to play. That's why.
So you said before that you don't necessarily love, I guess, playing competitive golf. But I feel like there's a difference between like playing competitive golf and competing against like your boys out on the course.
My boys, I like playing against the guys I know. Okay. I don't want to go out and compete against strangers. Yeah. I did that my whole life as a baseball player.
It's just
I didn't know guys on the other team that well. I knew the players, but I didn't know the pitchers. And I'm just tired of the grind. You know, I'll grind with my friends,
right?
Because you always got a partner.
Yeah.
And if you lose, your partner loses, and I don't want to lose money, and I don't want him to lose any money. You know,
right.
I want to win money.
Absolutely.
And so I'll grind that way. But as far as going out there and playing a 2 or 3 day tournament or something like that, that's not my game.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more.
And I only get so many road trips with the guys, you know?
Yeah. Right.
And if you go play in a golf tournament somewhere, you're not with your guys. You're with different guys every day.
Yeah.
And so, like, if I'm going to go on a trip, I want to go with my friends, and I want to play golf against my friends and have dinner with my friends.
Yeah.
You know?
I've said many times where people always ask, if you had one more round to play in your life, who would be your dream foursome? And I always say, like, my brother and my 2 best buddies, because that's who I have the most fun golfing with all the time. So I think it's very relatable. Trent, you got anything else?
I don't think so. I love the voicemail is my favorite thing. I listened to it again right before he came on here. Fucking lasers all over the place.
How did you find that?
It's on the internet. Everything's on the internet.
You'd be surprised. One of the top things that shows up when you search.
George Brett Golf, and it's listen to this.
Right
listen to this
and it's a great voicemail. It's on like golf.com
Jason,
or whatever.
you wouldn't believe this thing. It was unbelievable today. And it was incredible.
And that's the best, like Trent said the best part. You were like, lasers right at the fucking flag. Which is great. It's perfect. All right, George, man. We're big fans. We really appreciate you coming in, sitting down with us. So everybody check out
Meet Mitch. MeetMitch.com.
We're going to go have some right now. We'll tell everybody about it, but thanks a lot. We really appreciate it.
You got it, pal.
Looking forward to coming on.
Thank you. If you want to hear more from Hall of Famer George Brett, highly recommend go over to Pardon My Take. If you don't know those guys, they're absolutely hilarious. Laugh out loud, funny stuff with Hall of Famer George Brett. He's hilarious. He's great. They also have an exit interview video coming out, so make sure you check that out from our boys, the Pardon My Take guys. All right, that interview with George Brett, Hall of Fame, legend. Normal, cool guy.
Great tan.
Looks good. Guys, he mentioned a couple different courses he's played. Mission Hills, where he shot the lowest score ever. He did win the Pebble Beach Pro-Am out in Pebble Beach. If you're ever going to play these places, you're absolutely crazy if you don't use ship sticks to get your clubs there. If you aren't already using ship sticks when you travel for your golf trips, you're starting your round a couple over. You've probably seen their ads on Golf Channel, on CNBC. Ship Sticks picks up your clubs from your home, from your golf course, from your office, from your hotel, whatever's most convenient, and they deliver them directly to wherever you're staying or playing. Sounds like an ad read, all that. I cannot explain how good Ship Sticks is. It's absolutely a no-brainer. Why the hell would you lug them to and from the airport? Why would you waste your time at baggage claim when you can just use Ship Sticks? Ship them ahead of time. Your clubs will be waiting for you when you arrive. All my experiences, they're literally on the cart, strapped in, ready for you to just hop in and do your thing. As the largest golf shipping company in the entire world, their prices are the lowest, starting at $39.99, which by itself is much, much, much cheaper than most airline-checked bag fees. Pretty awesome combo. You eliminate the hassle of traveling with your clubs while saving time and money. It's really a no-brainer. All you got to do is go to shipsticks.com. That's shipsticks.com. Click Ship Now. You will be on your way to hassle-free golf trip. There's obviously a promo code because our sponsors love us. We love them. Promo code is BARSTOOL, BARSTOOL, for 10% off your next shipment. Once again, that's shipsticks.com. Promo code is BARSTOOL for 10% off your next shipment. Ship Sticks. Ship your sticks. All right, Trent.
Okay.
George Brett, he is the man. Great to have him in. Big-time golfer. I do want to say we get a lot of people whenever we have interviews with I don't know, celebrities, PGA Tour players, wherever they are, they always say, hey, you should have asked him this, you should have asked him that. I would love for people to email us or DM us or tweet at us questions they might have for players or whoever in the future.
Okay, that's a good idea.
I think that's a good idea. We could, I think everybody kind of feels like, man, I would love to know what it's like to talk to or pick somebody's brain who's a PGA Tour player, a Hall of Fame baseball guy.
Yeah.
Send us questions that you'd like us to ask.
Put your money where your mouth is, motherfuckers.
Put it there. Email us, foreplay@barstoolsports.com. Put your money where your mouth is, motherfuckers.
Robbie Fox like that.
That's aggressive.
If they think they can do the interviews like that, then if they want better questions, give them to
I
us.
think Riggs was just saying, like, they'd like to talk to people that we have the opportunity to talk to, and you're like,
all
they
fired
coming
up.
for our
Filter.
jobs, motherfuckers?
Filter's got Trent's life all twisted.
He fucks me up. Every time I think about him, I can't sleep at night. It's the worst. And now that I know he's getting his card back and driving,
We can't even ask the listeners to send us emails without
Trying to be friendly to the listeners. He
Freaking
thinks they're
out.
coming for our jobs.
So we got a couple from the galleries this week. Then we're going to jump right into Wells Fargo talk, and then this podcast is over. A couple. One thing that it's a story. I'm just going to say it's a story about a guy who I don't like, who has me blocked on Twitter. Now, it's Billy Horschel. And essentially, I've kind of always wondered if my hate or dislike, it's not hate, it's dislike, for Billy Horschel is fully justified just because he acted like a baby one time at Chambers Bay. But I get these little stories from people all the time that confirm that he's kind of a dickhead. He's kind of an asshole. So this guy sends me this story. It's a great story. It's a really good story. From 2013 at Bay Hill. The gist is this guy goes in early in the day, so it's about a bunch of guys that are not in contention.
Yep.
So they're hanging out. There's not a big crowd yet. The sixth hole, which, if you recall, is the one where John Daly made like a 15 one year trying to just drive the green. It looks like a gigantic half moon with water at Bay Hill. And so he says Billy Horschel's walking up to the tee. Said, mind you, there's maybe 8 to 10 people standing around the tee. That's it, because it's early. There's not that many people there. He says, including me and my buddies. One dude who was just there with his wife and kids jokingly says to Billy Horschel, don't even try to cut off too much of the water today, guys. It's really windy. Guy goes on to say, dude was just kidding around, trying to be friendly with the tour guys since there's not that many people around. Nothing mean at all. Billy turns to the guy and says, hey, listen, I don't come to your office and tell you how to do your job, so don't tell me how to do mine. This guy goes on to say, one of the biggest dickhead lines I've ever heard in my life. The dude just looked crushed. He was there with his wife, having a good time. There was absolutely no reason for it whatsoever. The guy was just joking around. Billy decided to be a macho, arrogant prick to him. Wait, it gets better. Billy goes up to hit. First swing, tries to take too much off the lake. Boom, in the water.
Yes.
He goes on. He says he then re-tees his driver. Second swing, snap hooks it into the water. At this point, me and my buddies are dying laughing. Trying so hard not to laugh out loud because fuck Billy Horschel, not because a tour player messed up, but because a tour player who went out of his way to be an asshat is doing exactly what the guy told him not to do. Re-tees again, third ball in the water, losing our mind. Finally, with his fourth shot, hits it way out to the right, bails out, puts his head down, starts walking away. I'm dying. Pretty sure I actually laughed out loud in his face. I look over to the other guy, the original guy that said it, hoping and praying he'd say something. The dude just stares Billy Horschel down as he walks to off the tee, head down, staring at his feet.
Beautiful. How much do you love that story?
See, I really like to know that it wasn't an overreaction on my part.
Yeah.
Billy Horschel's just an asshole.
Yeah. I mean, that's what it sounds like.
Stop being an asshole to people.
Yeah, I mean, that's really the takeaway from this podcast for all these golfers that we don't like. If you're just nice to people, we're nice to you.
And it's, I've seen 10 or 15 of these stories from people.
Yeah.
About like, oh, Billy Horschel, I saw him at this tournament. He used to be a really nice guy when he was young, and then when he became big, he's an asshole to people.
Yeah.
I don't like
The
that.
sneaky best part of that story is how after Billy Horschel yelled at the guy looked like his day was over and he did it in front of his wife, so he feels like shit.
Yeah.
And then for him to have redemption on the other side of it, being like, fuck you, Billy Horschel. I told you not to do that.
Had to feel good. I told you not to hit in the water, Billy Horschel.
Yeah. Oh, he should have said something, although I think Billy Horschel would have killed him.
Yeah.
Literally.
We got another one.
Oh, and by the way,
Yep.
you talked about how Billy Horschel has you blocked on Twitter.
Yep.
Someone who has me blocked on Twitter, Dottie Pepper.
Ooh.
She got fired from ESPN. I'm not basking in that glory. I'm just saying, I'm updating the Dottie Pepper news. But she also deleted her Twitter, so I fucking win that round.
Wow.
She deleted her Twitter. I don't know why.
That's a huge internet win.
That's huge for me. I have nothing against Dottie Pepper. Well, not really. But I tweeted like an innocent joke at her like a year and a half ago, not adding her, nothing, and she must have searched her name and blocked me. So I wish all social media ill will on her, and she she deleted her Twitter.
Wow.
I didn't do anything about it. I didn't pull any strings. I just know that I still have a Twitter page and she doesn't, so I win.
Interesting. That's a huge win. Yeah. Anybody that has
You're
you
also
blocked.
unblocked by her now. You're not blocked by
You
her.
are?
Technically.
Oh, no,
he's
you're not.
not
Right.
blocked.
Technically.
Yeah, I mean,
See?
anytime somebody has you blocked on
Sorry,
Twitter
yeah.
and then they like delete and disappear,
Yeah.
huge win.
And I didn't do anything. She just deleted it because I don't know why, but I win.
That's nice.
That's a feel-good
Thank
story.
you, thank you for updating us on Dottie Pepper.
You're
too.
welcome.
I like that.
You're welcome.
So the only other two I have from the galleries this week that I found are mostly just comments on from the gallery submissions.
Okay.
One guy, this guy Cody and his Ryder Cup crew. I was gonna tell the story or talk about it a little bit, but all I'm gonna comment on is the name. The name of their Ryder Cup is called the Caucasian Classic.
Are we allowed to say I love that?
He goes out of his way and he says it's not racist. It's just the Western Pennsylvania demographic.
Again, he's right, I guess.
Okay,
How
so
do you
that was-
feel about it?
I don't know. I when I first
You look very torn.
when I first read it, I was like, I don't think you can call your tournament the Caucasian Classic.
It feels
What if you make like a black friend that's gonna like that? You invite him to the tournament.
it feels a little KKK-esque. I will say that.
It's and I don't think that the guy's racist. It's just why would you name your thing the Caucasian Classic?
Just a lot of white dudes.
Can you go around the like all weekend when you guys are at whatever destination, being like, oh yeah, me and all my buddies are here for the Caucasian Classic?
No, you cannot do that because people will be freaked out by it.
So that seemed really weird to me.
They should do the Caucasian Classic Cup and just call it the CCC. Come on!
That's not a bad idea. Cody, call it the CCC. You're welcome from the foreplay guys. Rob's losing his mind. The other one I want to comment on is this guy sends me the most bizarre story I've ever heard. Story about this guy whose brother had to take a shit in the woods, which has happened on the golf course to many people. Rob's red, laughing so hard at the CCC, the Caucasian Classic.
Go ahead,
Cup.
Riggs.
So he said his brother then wipes his ass with a golf towel, then leaves it in a creek.
Okay.
So he tells me this whole story, and I read it. And I'm like, all right, it's a weird fucking story. The guy sends a follow-up email that just says, can you please not put this on the show? Thank you.
Oh.
Like, why the fuck would you send it to me?
Sorry, pal.
It was the same day, too. It wasn't like he talked it over with his brother, and a week
Yeah.
later was like, I don't want you to put that on the show. Sent me this weird-ass story, and then, like, a minute later is like, oh, by the way, don't put that on
Just
the show.
instant regret.
Just, like, wanted Riggs personally to know that his brother, like, shit on a towel or something.
Oh, I see what. Yeah, he's
I
just
don't
like,
get it.
hey, Riggs, I just want.
Or do you think it was instant regret?
I feel like it's more what you're saying. It's just like, I just wanted Riggs to know that. I don't think I want everyone to know that, but instead now everyone knows.
Yeah, and I don't think I gave the guy's name.
No.
But it was like, I laughed out loud when I like read the whole story, and then I was like, oh, I can scroll down, and it just said that. Please don't put this on the show. All right, dude.
All right, yeah, he could have said it would have been better if he was like, just don't put my name on it.
Something like that.
Yeah,
Right. It was
not like, do not tell this story.
It was weird. I was weird, so I just told the story naturally. This is like the world that you go through, by the way, when you go through all of our From the Galleries.
Yeah.
It's a crazy world.
It's a rabbit hole that you don't want to go down. You'll
Send
get
us
lost.
more. We love them.
Of course.
We love stories. I love going through all you guys' weird ass shit, including shit stories. Finally, we've got. Oh, I think I have an ad read to do, Rob, don't I?
Yep.
Oh no, Trent does.
Oh shit.
We'll do that. We can just cut this part,
Okay.
or we just won't cut it. Doesn't really matter either way. Finally, we got to talk about the Wells Fargo Championship.
Yeah. But I'm doing my ad read first.
Okay,
Okay.
do it.
Let me tell you about our friends at Movement Watches.
I'm wearing a Movement watch.
You
by
are
the way.
moving. You are wearing a Movement watch.
Yeah, it's brown with blue.
It's beautiful. It's
very nice.
It's
Thank you.
beautiful. Movement Watches was founded on the belief that style shouldn't break the bank. The watchmaker's goal is to change the way consumers think about fashion by offering high-quality, minimalist products at revolutionary prices. With over 1 million watches sold to customers in 160 countries around the world, Movement Watches has solidified itself as the world's fastest-growing watch company. You got your watch. I got mine. Bob got his.
Yep.
They're beautiful. I'm not wearing mine right now, but whenever I like to wear mine when I go out to like a fancy dinner or fancy.
Like when you put on your pub Trent collared shirts.
When I put on a Pub Trent collared shirt, I like to put on the Movement watch. It kind of ties the whole thing together.
I will say, I've always been a big like sometimes when I tell jokes, something like that, I'll do the old, like, where you look at your wrist for the time thing. It's nice to actually have a watch there.
Because that's the thing. You don't actually need to know the time, but you look like classy as shit when you're wearing one.
Totally. So now, instead of pulling out my phone out of my pocket, I look at my movement watch to tell the time.
And you look classy. They look expensive, but the movement watches start at just $95. Can you believe you're looking at the watch right now? Can you believe that's only $95?
That's unbelievable. What a movement this is.
Yep, at a department store, you're looking at $400 to $500. Movement figured out that by selling online, they were able to cut out the middleman and retail markup, providing the best possible price, classic design, quality construction, and styled minimalism. Over 1 million watches sold in over 160 countries. Get 15% off today with free shipping and free returns by going to movementwatches.com/Fore. That's Fore. This watch has a really clean design. We've been getting compliments all the time about them. So now it's time to step up your watch game. Go to movementwatches.com/Fore. Join the movement.
We all have. Join the movement, folks.
Do it.
Sexy-ass watch. Wells Fargo Championship week. It's been a long-ass podcast so far. We told you there's a lot to talk about.
Yeah. It's been fun.
This tour just keeps rolling on. We're only 2 weeks out from the Players' Championship. We've got the Wells Fargo Championship this week. It has moved for 1 year from the Quail Hollow because Quail Hollow is hosting the PGA this year.
Yeah.
So the Wells Fargo's moved to Eagle Point Golf Club in Wilmington, North Carolina.
Okay.
DJ's back.
Yeah, first tournament back since his
air quotes fall.
I don't even know what we're calling his Masters thing anymore. I mean, to the general public, I'm sure it's still the back injury, but to people who follow golf closely, you just don't, It's Justin Johnson just didn't play the Masters, and not sure why.
The amount of stories that we have heard, rumors, they're not even stories, they're just rumors at this point.
Yeah.
I mean, the caddies this last weekend at Bayonne were telling all their version. No, mine's the right one. The problem with all these stories is you just plug in like 30 different golfers.
Right. So every story we've heard a bunch of stories, but you could have put in any golfer's name, and we've gotten a story about that person.
Everything.
So there's too much noise is what it is.
Way too much noise. Anyways, DJ is back. It's like you said, his first start. He's won his last 3 starts.
He's the favorite this week.
He's got to be. He looks good. I saw a couple of his somebody played like a round with him, posted an Insta of him last week swinging. Swing looked good, back looks good. So DJ's in the field. It's a good, strong field. I also saw we got Phil, we got John Rahm, Adam Scott's out there.
Oh, I see Bryson DeChambeau's in the field, who we saw at the Zurich.
Yeah, it's weird when you bash these guys sitting behind a microphone in a podcast studio in Manhattan.
Yep.
And then you fly down, and they're just walking around, and DeChambeau's like 8 inches taller than you are.
He's way taller and broad-shouldered and intimidating. And when we were doing our shoot with Beef, our illegal shoot with Beef, as DeChambeau walked by, Beef was like, "Hey, Bryson, how's it going?" Blah, blah, blah. Paid us no mind. He definitely probably has no idea who we are.
I wonder what would we have done if he would have. I mean, we would have just shooken his hand and be like, "Hi, nice to meet you."
Maybe, I don't know. We'd do a little rubbing his racing, go up and chest to chest with him, be like, "What's up, man?"
So he saw him down there. Patrick Reed, Captain America, is also in the field.
Yep.
Saw him on the range. Were you intimidated when you saw him on the range?
No, because Patrick Reed is so dumpy.
Yeah.
He's so dumpy.
He is dumpy.
I like him. I picked him to win last week. I like Patrick Reed a lot.
I like him, too. I like his whole vibe.
Yeah.
Even seeing him on the range, he's kind of got that cocky vibe to him.
Oh, for sure. That's part of his deal, and I like it.
Kevin Kisner, the Kiz, who's hot. Hopefully doesn't lose in a playoff this week. ZJ, your boy's in the field.
I saw that.
Yeah.
Always
Zach.
pulling for him.
I'll never forget when Trent saw Zach Johnson at Augusta in the practice round.
Yeah.
Almost pissed his pants.
I can barely contain my excitement. It's like, it's a hometown hero.
Wesley Bryan's in the field.
Big foreplay guy.
Yeah, he had another good week. He's having a hell of a fucking year. That guy's good.
Very consistent. Extremely consistent. He's got the win in there, too, so it's already a great year for him.
He might have to be our guy that we claim as the one guy that, like, that's the foreplay ball.
We could even say we discovered him, even though he had a big viral career before this.
We'll be like, we picked him out of a crowd and made him a PGA Tour winner and star.
Yep. You're welcome, world and Wesley.
Also, there's I wrote down a couple names representing the old guard this week.
Okay.
We got Jim Furyk.
Yep.
VJ Singh.
VJ.
Ernie Els.
Okay.
And the Goose, Retief Goosen.
No way.
So it's a good field.
It is. It's a great field. I mean, I didn't realize the field was this strong, but now we're going through the names, and that's a hell of a fucking tournament.
No, I really didn't either, especially because, the Zurich churned out a very, very strong field with the majority of the top 10 ranked players in the world playing in it.
Yeah.
And then, in 2 weeks, like I said, we've got the Players' Championship, so you really weren't sure on top of that, it switched venues from Quail Hollow to this Eagle Point Golf Club. I wasn't sure if they were going to get the turnout.
Yeah, but they did. It's incredible.
What do you expect? Anything crazy?
I hope this is probably not the great thing to expect, but I hope DJ wins. I
do
hope he
too.
just doesn't miss a beat. That would be very DJ to me because he is very good at putting things aside and forgetting they ever happened. It seems like I'm not calling him dumb. I think you were going to say that to me.
You just randomly said out loud, I'm not calling him dumb.
Because every time I bring up Dustin Johnson and say he's able to forget things, he has a good short-term memory or bad short-term memory. You say that I call him dumb, but I just think he's able to put those things in the back of his head. The Masters was obviously a huge deal. It's the biggest story of the week. If he just comes in and wins, it quiets all that noise.
Well, it's gonna make all of that completely obsolete.
Right.
Like the story, whatever actually happened, nobody's gonna give a shit. Whereas if he comes out and he stinks, everyone's gonna be like, "Oh my God, something scarring happened at the Masters," and it's going to feed into all of these ridiculous rumors that they are ridiculous.
They are.
There's a theory that one of them's true. We don't know which one. They're ridiculous.
I will say this. I'm not worried about Dustin Johnson re-injuring his back because I don't think his back was ever injured.
Really?
Yes.
I wouldn't go that far.
Okay.
Interesting. See, we disagree on that.
All right.
So you just think he's a big old liar. You think he's
Yeah,
dumb.
boy.
You think he's a dumb liar.
No, I'm saying that he lied about the back injury. Yeah, I definitely think that's true.
It'll be telling this week.
A lot of smoke.
Tune in to the Wells Fargo to see if Dustin Johnson is basically a big dumb liar or not.
If he's smart, which you're saying to me that he's not, he would injure his back.
I'm saying that you're saying that he's not.
He would injure his back again. I'm doing air quotes just to sell that story. Just get out there first tee. Now my back hurts again. I got to go.
See, that would really kind of seal it up. You think that would seal it up more than a win?
No. A win helps everything. If he wins, everybody forgets about everything.
The old Eldrick. Winning takes care of everything.
He's right.
On that note, enjoy it, everybody. That wraps up this week. You don't have anything else, right, Trent?
Nope, that's it.
Octagon Bob, one of his last weeks on the job.
Yep. Second to last week. It's bittersweet.
Rob, why don't you hit him with what they're supposed to know at the end of the podcast?
Hit it hard.
Hit it hard.
I hit it, I hit it, I hit it.